Starting Sam Longwood. Buchanan here with Jackson. Foul line jumper Longwood. Misfires off the foot of Garza, and it stays with UNM.
Well, pretty good defense by Johnny McCants for the first time the Aggies can get Sam Longwood to miss.
Not often do you see two Las Cruces natives on the floor for the Aggies. That's the case right now with Garza and McCants. On the arc, Jackson on the spin, steps back on Buchanan, bricks the three, and it's in the hands of Endier. City to the lane, back out to Chua, who does have that range, just doesn't shoot much. McCants, good body control, and then Longwood scoops it up. Jackson back out to Mathis in the corner, a little too long, pulled in by McCants. Buchanan lobs it over the D to Endier in transition. Low block, Chua. Chua with the left, slips off the rim. The Aggies can't buy a basket. They're 1 of 13 shooting.
It's been good shot after good shot. Things could be worse for the Aggies at this point.
Longwood with his first three-point attempt this year off the heel. Buchanan back out to Endier, rises up, and he hits it.
Well, the Aggies needed that. They've shot poorly, and they're only down 4, which is a good sign if it's this early in the game.
Longwood hands it off to Anthony Mathis, a junior from West Lynn, Oregon. Now the exchange for Jackson, the Houston native. Poked away by McCants. Chua ahead for Endier, lob for McCants, and he jams it in.
Pretty good teamwork by the Aggies there, sharing the ball.
Jackson on the hesitation to the rolling Pinchuk. Good D by Chua. Pinchuk with a hook.
Another jump hook by Pinchuk. And here's the press again. It's just been relentless after every made basket. Let's see if the Aggies can get through it and get a layup this time.
Buchanan will pull it out to the arc. And Garza sets up the Aggie offense here. 11.5 left in the first half. 13-9 Lobos. Aggies off to a poor shooting start, but still trailing by only 4. Pretty strong defensive effort so far for the Aggies. We expected a high-scoring game, not so far. McCants again, 2 straight for Johnny McCants.
Well, he looks really good for a freshman from Oñate High School, right here in town.
The top high school player in the state of New Mexico 2 years ago. Was a star for the Knights at Oñate. 13-11 UNM. Mathis gets Garza in the air, a sidestep 3, switched it in. He's 1 of 2. Aggies break the press easily. UNM coming in, averaging 30.5 assists per game, also forcing 29.5 turnovers per game. Really impressive number. Just 2 games in, but you have to think they're going to force turnovers all year. Endier fakes the spin, deep 2, yes sir.
Boy, he looked like a pro there. That looked like Ian Baker. Last year's Aggie star.
City's a special talent all the way from France. Redshirt junior now, had an injury last year. McCants playing a big role. Endier for Johnny. Oh my!
But McCants made a really smart move there. He gave the ball up to the guard and then ran. Really a smart move by Johnny McCants.
They love their hometown kids in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Right down the road, Oñate High. Johnny McCants brings the Aggies within 1.
For more Vegas-style action. Play the hottest table games now at the casino at Sunland Park. Go all in for a great time with exciting electronic blackjack. And stay, hit, or play your way to winning big. Or place your bets on electronic roulette, where a jackpot could be yours with any spin of the wheel. Vegas-style action, baby. You bet. Let your hot streak begin. The casino at Sunland Park. I-10 to Sunland Park, exit 13. Play responsibly. Helpline 1-800-572-1142.
As you stand in the hallway before your college graduation, you think about all the memories that brought you here. You learned to believe in yourself, and you found others that believed in you, and you discovered your dreams. You pushed past the limits and boundaries of the people who came before you, and now you're standing here. New Mexico State University. No limits, no boundaries.
New Mexico State Basketball and Aggie Vision is sponsored by Route 66, Comcast, Memorial Medical Center, White Sands Federal Credit Union, and by Pepsi. Off the bench, it is local product Johnny McCants. Leading an Aggie rally, the Aggies have made each of their previous 5 shots. McCants has 6 off the bench, and the Aggies trail UNM by only 1. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wells Fargo, a proud supporter of Aggie basketball and the power of teamwork. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. Coach, I don't think we expected Johnny McCants to be the guy who leads the Aggie rally early.
I certainly didn't, but he made a really smart move on the last play. Rather, he comes up with the steal, but threw it right to City Endear, and then ran like crazy down to the other end, his second alley-oop dunk of the game. Big boost, and the fans, of course, went crazy.
The Aggies force a turnover. A.J. Harris can't convert. Endear will pull it down, and the Aggies reset.
Well, here's the Aggies giving the Lobos a taste of their own medicine with their own full-court pressure.
Double team comes on Wilkins, so he skips out of it to Endear, attacks the rim, and he slams it in.
Really smart pass by John Wilkins. Just a perfect cross-court pass out of the double team.
Here's Ja'Kai Simmons, the JUCO transfer. Now Sam Logwood on the baseline. Taking his time on Wilkins. Logwood in the lane. Rises up, no good. Tipped around. Grab by Logwood. Kuiper can shoot.
Uh-oh.
And it's short, and there's Jamario Jones for the high board. Aggies pushing now. Harris to Wilkins.
And that's what I think the Aggies are going to have to do more of, is run through the pressure. Now that was after a missed shot. Let's see if they can do it after a made basket. I'll bet they've got their confidence now, Adam.
The Aggies on a 6-0 run. They take a 3-point lead here at the Pan Am Center. Kuiper in the left wing. Now Logwood, top of the key. Lobos certainly want to play faster than this. Looking for the handoff. Simmons wasn't there. 2 to shoot. UNM doesn't know it. That's a shot clock violation. And the Aggies will have it.
Well, Zach Lofton put it up anyway.
I know Chris Jans was looking for better defense from the Aggies after the first 2 outings and the exhibition games as well. He wasn't pleased with his defense. I know it's only 11.5 in, but it's been better tonight.
No, but he's made some really smart moves here, Adam, as they're against the pressure. They've been very controlled, and now they're starting to run through it after a few times. 6
turnovers on UNM. The Aggies have only committed 1. And once again, in the first 2 games this year, the Lobos forcing 29.5 per game. Harris outside for Lofton. Pinballs around. Kuiper grabs it in the corner, and he saves it to Logwood.
Well, a risky move by Kuiper, saving it under his own basket. That could have been a layup for the Aggies.
And Paul Weir had a good point. I think Kuiper was bumped. There probably should have been a foul. Foul here before the shot by Logwood. That's foul number 2 on the Aggies. And on Zach Lofton, it's number 1. Ja'Kai Simmons heads off for UNM. Simmons originally signed with the Aggies, but he was granted his release when Paul Weir left for UNM, so he was about to be an Aggie before the coaching change. Longwood backing down Jones. Pinballs off the rim. Longwood able to grab it though. Dane Kuiper with a pretty finger roll.
Wow, all the way from Alaska. Nice move by Dane Kuiper there.
Aggies break it easily again. A.J. Harris with his offhand. Left it short. He's a left-hander. The burst ahead for Chris McNeil. This is the pace UNM wants to play at, and it's a blocking foul on Garza.
Wow, well, we'll have to look at that one again.
7:34 left here in the first half of play. It's the Rio Grande rivalry. First of 2 meetings this year. City End here with the explosive dunk.
It's on us to be more than a bystander.
It's on us to step up and say something.
It's on us, never blame the victim.
It's on us to be held responsible.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us to hold our friends accountable for their actions.
It's on us to create an environment where women feel and are safe.
It's on us to stop a sexual assault in any way we can.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Brookings Institution report gave New Mexico State the second highest score in the nation as a public university that provides opportunities for social mobility to students and produces valuable research. For more info, go to newscenter.nmsu.edu. Short drive for Lobo fans to come down to Las Cruces for this one, and then in early December, when they tangle in Albuquerque, short drive for Aggie fans, only a 3-hour trip along Interstate 25, and as usual, a lot of crimson and white, but also a lot of cherry red in attendance here this evening.
It's only 3 hours, Adam, but if you lose, it seems like it's 3 days on the way back.
It's been very hard for teams to sweep in a season in this rivalry. Last year, the two teams split. It's the 219th all-time meeting. First meeting was all the way back in 1904. UNM has won 16 of the previous 20. Not a whole lot of expectations this year for the Lobos, picked to finish 9th out of 11 teams in the Mountain West preseason poll. The Aggies picked second in the WAC behind Grand Canyon. Whole new staff for the Aggies. There's Lou Godino, who's doing a great job as the associate head coach under Chris Jans. That was his first hire. And I know right when Chris Jans made that hire to get Lou Godino to come from Indiana State to New Mexico State, he was thrilled.
Yes, Lou Godino has a terrific reputation around the country, as do the other Aggies assistants. We'll talk about them as the game goes on.
Lobos go ahead by 1. In case you're just joining us, the Aggies so far have been breaking the press easily, only 1 turnover committed. It's been the Lobos who have coughed it up. A.J. Harris, the Ohio State transfer, played for the Buckeyes 2 years ago. Sat out last year due to transfer rules. Lofton to the rim. Left it short. Shua crashes though, and Shua's fouled across his arm.
Well, Chua really bails out Zach Lofton. Zach thought he got fouled there. He was a little off balance. It was a good, strong move to the basket, but Chua in the right place. A smart move by Eli Chua.
And I think the Aggies like the matchup with that man right there, Makwach Mawach, the freshman from Australia, guarding Lofton on the arc.
Yes, that's a lot of pressure to put on a first-year Australian to guard a fifth-year senior in Zach Lofton.
It's the first personal on Mawach. He fouled Chua. Aggies 3 of 5 on the free throws. Now 3 of 6. There's Jamario Jones again. Saves it to Garza.
Wow. Doing what he does best.
Harris on the elbow pull-up. Tipped out by McNeil. And the Aggies will keep it. Jamario Jones, like he did all of last year, keeping possessions alive.
Yes. And, boy, he does it as well as anybody in America.
This was earlier. Johnny McCants, a dunk to start an Aggie rally. Harris with the ball. He's 0 of 5 so far for the field. Lofton squares up on the freshman Pinchuk. Bullet pass to Garza. Jones had him. Didn't find him though. It's Lofton from 3. Jamario Jones again. Can't stick it in, but he'll get free throws, and he's bouncing around.
There it is. There it is. He's just blue collar and smart around the basket. He may be the smartest player I've ever seen for his size around the basket. Watch him get. There's no way that Jamario Jones should get this. But there he is.
Jamario Jones was a late sign last year by Paul Weir and his staff, and I'm sure Paul thought all last year, I never want to coach against this guy, and now he has to. I mean, he saw him do this every single day in practice last year. He's just a ball of energy.
But he came on, he didn't play great the first couple games a year ago. I think he's one of those guys you don't realize how good he is till the game starts unfolding and you look at halftime and he's got 7 rebounds again.
And one of the adjustments too was him going from 6th man last year to a starter this year. And for some guys, that's a big change.
Yes.
He's handled it well so far, 3 games in.
And here's that matchup again, Johnny McCants on Sam Longwood.
On the kick out, Ja'Kai Simmons. Great dump off for Pinchuk, who has 4 now.
Well, good penetration by the Lobos there.
Dangerous pass there by McCants, but Harris tracks it down. Sling pass for Jamario Jones. This match here with McNeil guarding Chua. Extra pass for Harris. Double team comes on Jones, flashing Chua, banks it in.
Well, just a really fine pass by Jamario Jones out of the double team.
Back and forth we go here in the first half. Aggies retake the lead. Longwood might have had that blocked partially. Jones there. No numbers for the Aggies. They'll lob it anyway. Good catch by McCants. Dump off for Chua.
Well, Longwood started out with 3 baskets in a row, and he hasn't made one since. He's missed 5 or 6 in a row now.
Johnny McCants playing at a very high level. Harris gets back, and McNeil's fouled by A.J. Harris, who gambled, tried to step in the passing lane, and he gets a foul. Some really good guards here tonight, Coach. McNeil, Jackson, and some others for UNM. Yep. Harris, Endier, and some others for the Aggies.
And here comes Sean Buchanan in for A.J. Harris.
There's Sean Buchanan. Aggies with Wilkins, McCants, Lofton, Endier, and Buchanan. Jackson, Pinchuk, Longwood, Kuiper, and Simmons for UNM. This is Kuiper on the inbound catch. Longwood 6'8", can play really all 5 positions if he needs to. Akron transfer Antono Jackson will rise up from 3. Way off the mark. Lofton with the rebound. Buchanan slithering in the painted area. Now Lofton to McCants. McCants to Wilkins. flashing again is Lofton. Another pretty feed by Postman.
Well, where the Aggies are exploiting the Lobos is they're passing out of these double teams without any trouble at all. The Lobos just aren't able to rotate fast enough out of the double teams, and I wonder if Paul Weir will stop the double teams because they just have not been effective. The Aggies pass the ball too well.
It's a 6-0 Aggie run. The Aggies working out of the low post. McCants, extra pass to Buchanan. Now 10 here on the shot clock for the Aggies. Buchanan calls out McCants for a ball screen. Buchanan trapped in the corner. Aggies need to chuck it. McCants does, and it's an air ball. Well, with the first half he's having, he thought maybe that one would go in.
Well, that's the first time the Aggies have looked out of sync on offense.
Biggest lead for the Aggies tonight. They lead by a handful. It's 27-22 behind a 6-0 Aggie run.
We are the Borderplex Alliance, and this is our region 1 second at a time.
Ready for extensive life sciences research. The totally revitalized downtown. The largest binational city on the border. Fortune 500 companies from 21 countries from all around the world. Business accelerator and technology incubator.
The border moves fast. Visit us at borderplexalliance.org.
We're proactively advancing our security to find better ways to help keep your finances safe. Over here, we're working on voice recognition.
Oh, question?
Yes.
A lot of people say that I sound like my brother. He wouldn't be able to sign into my account, would he?
No, he wouldn't. Your voice is as unique as your fingerprint.
Cool, because that guy is just...
And over here, we're exploring eye print technology. And if people say you have your brother's eyes, he wouldn't be able to sign on this way.
Great. That's good to know. That's good for all of us to know.
And over here, we're working on mobile payments.
Adam Young and Russ Bradford back with you here at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces. 27-22. New Mexico State leads by 5 with 3:57 left here in the first half. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wells Fargo, a proud supporter of Aggie basketball and the power of teamwork. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. Turnover margin, advantage Aggies. Rebound margin, advantage Aggies as well, +8 coach. And I know Chris Jantz believes they could be a really good rebounding team this year.
There's been quite a few surprises tonight. One that I'm delighted with is how well the Aggies share the ball and move it out of the double teams. Paul Weir, the Lobos, trying to double team at every opportunity, but the Aggies continue to make them pay. They weren't able to get easy layups out of the press, but they never turned the ball over either. And once they've gotten it down, they've just shown great ball movement. Really remarkable achievement for first-year coach Chris Jantz. That's not him there, by the
way. One of the big noticeable things so far is how prepared New Mexico State is for this game. They have broken the pressure with ease.
I completely agree. It's a really remarkable first Lobo game for Chris Jantz.
A no call in the backcourt. Kuiper can't finish, and it's Jamario Jones who cleans it up again. The Aggies trying to grow their first half lead. They break the press easily again. Just 3 turnovers for the Aggies here in the first half. Endier working on Firstinger, who has 2, and he traveled with it. I think he came down with his right foot, then his left foot, instead of both feet at the same time, and City's arguing. I assume that's what he did. That's the only way he could have traveled there in that scenario. McNeil pushes for UNM. Quiet first half here for the Lobo offense after a good start, but it was all Logwood during that start for UNM. Nobody else has really had a good first half. Here's Troy Simons, who's long on his 3, and Jamario Jones has 8 rebounds in the half. The lob for Wilkins, caught by McCants, back out, Endier fires. Johnny McCants playing above the rim again. Wilkins can't put it in. Off the knee of an Aggie.
Boy, McCants has really been impressive so far. The Aggies didn't get the break there, but I'm really impressed with McCants, how hard he plays and how smart he is.
And watching UNM on film, you see how athletic they are, and it seems like the Aggies have matched them athletically. The athletes are there.
That's right. I think that's absolutely right.
Scoring drought of 3.5 minutes for UNM. Extra pass to Kuiper, steps back on the side step. Pinball's out, boarded by McCants, and he throws it away.
Well, first mistake McCants has made. We'll give him a break on that one.
And then Sean Buchanan takes it back, and Kuiper's whistled for the personal.
Well, technical on Sean Buchanan. I don't know what the call was going to be, but this veteran crew calls a technical on Sean Buchanan.
Yeah, he pushed Troy Simons, and I think he did because Simons initially kind of brushed off from Buchanan, but Sean Buchanan pushed right in front of the official. A big no-no. Chris Jan's not mad at the official. He's mad at Sean Buchanan. And this, as you know, Coach, is a really veteran crew here tonight.
But now the foul was on Dane Kuiper, so why Sean Buchanan was getting a technical there, it's hard to figure. He got the call, so why he would say anything to the refs, I don't know.
Well, I think what happened, Coach, and we'll see the replay, I think he pushed Troy Simons, who kind of brushed off on him.
Oh, after the whistle.
When Kuiper was on the floor, Simons was going to help him up. Kind of brushed off on Sean Buchanan. There wasn't much there, and then Sean Buchanan pushed, and we'll see the replay. Now we need to roll this all the way out to see the end of the play. So here's Kuiper going down. Simons will come over. And there just wasn't much.
Oh, yeah.
A little more than I thought initially.
Yeah, that's right.
And now the fans see the replay as we see it.
Yeah, Troy Simons certainly initiated it. I'm not happy with the way Sean Buchanan reacted, but
to the naked eye, though, it seemed like it wasn't much of a brush off. A little more as we see the replay.
No, that's right. But it's always the one who retaliates who gets caught, and it's in this case it was Sean Buchanan retaliating against Troy Simons. As we've talked about Paul Weir plenty. We haven't talked about Brandon Mason making another return there. That's Brandon Mason, the Aggie great. Played for me in Ireland for 1 year. He was most valuable player in all of Ireland when we won the Irish Championship. But he's just got a huge future as a college basketball coach.
Personal foul on 14 from New Mexico.
Yeah.
With double technical fouls on the 2. You're welcome.
A big thanks to Tommy Nunez for coming over to us and relaying the call. So double T, after watching the replay, they see there was a little more than they initially thought with Simons. So a double T on Simons and Buchanan, and the initial personal on Kuiper stands as well.
Yes, just Troy Simons trying to get Sean Buchanan's goat, and he did a little bit, but it's a double technical. And Troy Simons stays in. Sean Buchanan's come out. Maybe to calm him down a little bit.
2.25 to go. The Aggies with the weave handoff to Jamario Jones. Johnny McCants with the ball right now. Shua slipping. McCants finds Jamario. Way deep on the arc. Backdoor to Endier. Good catch. Lost it. Jones with 3 to shoot. Gets the rim. And then the rebound is collected by McNeil. McNeil in transition. What a fantastic finish by McNeil.
I thought there's no way he's going to get the shot off, and he spun it into the basket. Pretty impressive move by Chris McNeil.
Shua in the corner. The wing-to-wing skip to Endier, stolen by Simons, and then he steps out of bounds on the sideline. It's going to be hard to get the ball down low to Shua if it's Jamario Jones who's entering the ball, because UNM knows Jamario doesn't want to shoot
the 3. He doesn't want to shoot the 3 in general, that's right.
27-24 New Mexico State. Is this remotely like what you expected here in the first half?
It's never what I expected in the Lobo Aggie games. That's what makes the game so great.
NM State, as you see there, plus 10 in rebound margin. The Aggies will have UTEP coming up soon. That's actually next week already. This is a tough stretch. The Aggies will have UTEP in back-to-back games. They have UNM tonight. They're going to have UNM in early December as well.
That's right, and Colorado State comes into the Pan Am Center in next week.
I know Chris Jans has talked a lot about the schedule and how tough it is. Maybe a little softer a season ago when the Aggies went 28-6. Look at the schedule this year, and it's hard to look at the schedule and say, okay, that's a win right there. Everything's going to be tough.
Oh, that's right. It's a lot of tough games ahead for the Aggies.
.90 seconds left here in the first half of play. Ja'Kai Simmons guarding Zach Lofton, who goes to work on Simmons and floats it in.
Wow, great body control by Zach Lofton.
Honorable mention All-American last year at Texas Southern, was the SWAC Player of the Year. He's a grad transfer, and he puts the Aggies ahead 29-24. Simmons answers. Friendly roll there for Ja'Kai Simmons. Rebounding and taking care of the ball, two big keys for the Aggies tonight, and they have succeeded in both areas. They break the press again, and City Endier, who can run the point or the two guard, will hand it off to Lofton. Talented grad transfer from St. Paul, Minnesota. Isolation set, rises over, first stinger no good, put it back in midair, and she was fouled again. Eli Chua has been busy. He's already attempted 4 free throws. He has 2 of 4. What are your early thoughts here, Coach, on Lofton?
Well, yeah, he's really impressive. He's quick off the dribble, and he's clearly got great offensive flair, but he plays within himself. He's not taking terrible shots. He's taking good shots for the most part. And I think it's a tremendous addition for Chris Jans as we watch as Zach Lofton goes over for a little chat with Chris Jans.
This gives coaches an advantage that wasn't around when you were coaching. You can bring in a guy for 1 year as a grad transfer, working on his master's, and
well, the best part, it encourages kids to graduate.
Sure. Good point. Yeah.
And so in this case, there's a pressure on the kid to graduate. If he wants to go somewhere else and play, he's allowed to. But the only way to do it without sitting out is to graduate. I like that rule. I think it's a good rule.
McCants with a tip. Longwood collects. 7-second difference. Game clock, shot clock. And McCants fouls Longwood before the shots.
Well, I like McCants has shown really great promise tonight. Sam Longwood went right around him there pretty quickly, but he's had an impressive debut here in the Pan Am Center. Impressive Lobo debut, sorry.
Sam Longwood's always been a really fine scorer, but never a big-time scorer for UNM. He's been around for 4 years, and he's always played well. He made 16 starts as a freshman. But this year, he could really break out as the scorer for UNM.
Well, that's the thing with Paul Weir. He has that reputation of being a fine communicator, and I think he's been able to get through to Sam Longwood here.
There's Longwood again. 3-second difference, game clock, shot clock. McNeil off the screen. 2 white jerseys there, so he hands it off to Pinchuk, who has 6. Aggies need to hurry. They're going to get it in too late. No shot for Chua. That won't count. And it's 31-28 here at halftime. An entertaining first half, probably not as many points as we expected for Chris Jans and the Aggies, and also for Paul Weir and the Lobos. We had 2 ties, 5 lead changes, 8 points for Eli Chua for the Aggies, and Pinchuk and Longwood leading New Mexico so far. Halftime activities coming your way next.
LasCrucesDodge.com, a great place to start your next vehicle search, like a new Ram truck or a stylish new Dodge Charger or even a Fiat. Find hundreds of new and used vehicles, all with multiple photos, low prices, tools like a payment calculator, and more. All at LasCrucesDodge.com. And Lithia Dodge of Las Cruces is easy to find on North Telshore Boulevard off I-25 just north of the mall. Start your next vehicle search today, all at LasCrucesDodge.com.
As you stand in the hallway before your college graduation, you think about all the memories that brought you here. You learned to believe in yourself, and you found others that believed in you, and you discovered your dreams. You pushed past the limits and boundaries of the people who came before you, and now you're standing here. New Mexico State University. No limits, no boundaries.
Yeah, hi, I don't have my debit card, and these kids are having a bake sale for their soccer team, so I need some cash. Can I give you my mother's maiden name or my first concert? Or
Oh, well, now you can just use your phone.
my phone?
Yeah, just open the Wells Fargo mobile app and request a one-time access code.
That's way better. All set, thanks. They have snickerdoodles.
I love snickerdoodles.
Thanks!
Good crowd tonight here at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces. 31-28, the Aggies lead the Lobos in the 219th all-time meeting in the Rio Grande rivalry. NM State trying to go to 27-1 in their previous 28 home games. The Aggies and Miners battle for bragging rights as the Battle of I-10 returns to Las Cruces for an early season matchup Saturday, November 25th at 7 p.m. here at the Pan Am. Purchase your tickets today by visiting the Pan Am box office or call 575-646-1420. Giving Tuesday is a university-wide initiative where Aggies across the nation can come together on Tuesday, November 28th and impact the lives of New Mexico State students. Director of Broadcasting Glenn Cerny sat down with Associate Vice President for Alumni and Stewardship Leslie Cervantes to get all the details about Giving Tuesday.
I'm Glenn Cerny, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Leslie Cervantes from the Advancement Office. And Leslie, if it's around the Thanksgiving holiday, we've got to be up on one of the more fun activities we have at the Corporate Center, Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday, Glenn.
So this year we'll be setting up, you will be setting up at 9 o'clock, and people are invited. But the purpose of Giving Tuesday is quite simple, to give on Tuesday.
It is to give on Tuesday. It's Tuesday, November 28th. Following our Black Friday, our Cyber Monday, and then Tuesday's all about our students.
You got those dates down much better than I do. I just know it's Tuesday the 28th. But one of the fun things that kind of creates the excitement is matching gifts. And I know there's a couple more this year, too.
Yes. You know, where we've been successful here at New Mexico State University is in thanks to many of our donors who've stepped up to provide matching opportunities that would inspire others to give and to join in. And so we have a couple of great matching opportunities. We have several, but we have two that are really kind of exciting this year. The first one is from President Carruthers and his wife Kathy Carruthers, and they have graciously agreed to inspire our first time ever donors, so our alumni that have never given to NMSU, to give this year, and they will match their gift dollar for dollar. So if you're a first time alum and you feel moved by that, to be able to double your gift and that make the Chancellor and Mrs. Carruthers match that gift, this is the day to do it.
Now you and I would not qualify that being a first-time giver, but there's another one out there as well.
Yes, so for those of our alumni that have given to us in the past and have supported our students and our programs at New Mexico State, we also have a matching opportunity for you, which is that on the day of Giving Tuesday, beginning at midnight that night, you can give online, or you can join us at Corbett at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the day, and then again online in the evening hours. And we are able to match households up to $2,500 for a gift that day.
And if someone wants to give, the phone number would be?
646-1613.
It sounds like you've been practicing that one, or online?
At support.nmsu.edu.
Leslie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Glenn. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Balanced scoring for the Aggies here tonight. 8 for Chua, 7 for Endear. McCants has 6. First half highlights when we return.
At White Sands Federal Credit Union, we like to think of ourselves as a family of people who care because our employees donate their money, over $100,000 since 2005, to support our communities. We've helped the Ronald McDonald House and action programs for animals. We've donated to Coats for Kids and helped provide emergency shelter through La Casa and the Child Crisis Center. We've helped the fire department in Truth or Consequences and the Girl Scouts at White Sands Missile Range. You support us, we support you. White Sands Federal Credit Union. Working together, make our communities better.
For Vegas-style action, play the hottest table games now at the casino at Sunland Park. Go all in for a great time with exciting electronic blackjack. And stay, hit, or play your way to winning big. Or place your bets on electronic roulette, where a jackpot could be yours with any spin of the wheel. Vegas-style action, baby. You bet. Let your hot streak begin. The casino at Sunland Park. I-10 to Sunland Park, exit 13. Play responsibly. Helpline 1-800-572-1142.
Huh. Can't find my debit card. Oh, no. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, totally, it's fine. But, like, is it fine, though? Because I would maybe be worried. Really, really, really worried. Do you want me to go back and look for it? I will. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. You need to call the bank. I don't know how else to tell you. You need to shut that card. It's off. What? I can turn it on and off in my Wells Fargo app. I feel better already. Good.
Blue 42. Hut, hut.
Have you found yourself stuck on the sidelines? Let the orthopedic team at Memorial Bone and Joint get you back in the game. We specialize in sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, and foot and ankle issues. With years of experience and advanced techniques, Memorial Bone and Joint is a team you can trust. Visit us at 150 Roadrunner Parkway or call 575-556-6440.
2 ties and 5 lead changes in the first 20 minutes here at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, and the Aggies lead by 1 possession. It is a 31-28 New Mexico State lead at halftime. Be sure to follow the Aggies on social media, like the Aggies on Facebook at facebook.com/NMSU Athletics. You can also follow the Aggies on Twitter and Instagram by searching at NM State Aggies. And for all the info, visit the website, nmstatesports.com. Glad you could join us tonight for the Rio Grande rivalry. Adam Young alongside former Aggie assistant coach Russ Bradford. Entertaining first half here at the Pan American Center. Lobos shot the ball well. Aggies did not shoot the ball well, but the Aggies rebounded well, and they did not commit turnovers.
That's right. They handled the pressure well. They didn't get a lot of layups against the press, but where they really made the Lobos pay was when the Lobos would double team in the half court. The Aggies shared the ball, cut to the basket, moved the ball, and really made the Lobos look bad.
A really good job passing by Johnny McCants, Eli Chua, and Jamario Jones. Let's look at the first half highlights as we saw it here at the Pan Am Center. Really good action here at Lou Henson Court. Got a lot of chippy at times. Here's Chris McNeil, an early 3 for UNM. They led 8-1 in the first couple minutes of the game. Then City End here, the Aggies came back, and it was Johnny McCants who led the rally, Coach.
He's really showing great promise as a freshman. Not just his athletic ability, but how smart he plays for a freshman has really been impressive.
UNM was only 2 of 9 from 3. That was one of the makes right there from Anthony Mathis. Here's Johnny McCants again. The Aggies played above the rim. Some highlight dunks in that first half, and the Aggies, no doubt about it. We see one here from City Endier.
City Endier was up so high there, I thought he'd overshoot the basket. He went so high.
A good first half for City, 7 points, 3 rebounds in 18 minutes. And the Aggies are trying to make it 27 of 28 home wins here at the Pan Am Center. We'll dive into the first half stats some more when we come back to the Pan Am.
It's on us to hold our friends accountable for their actions.
It's on us to change the way we talk about women.
It's on us
to look after someone who's had too much to drink.
It's on us to take care for each other at parties.
It's on us to step up and say something. It's on us not to give our friends a pass.
It's on us to do something.
Anything.
To keep an assault from happening.
Did you know that college students who frequently binge drink are nearly twice as likely to fail a test, miss class, or get in trouble with the law or their school?
30% of students who dropped out of school said it was because of their drinking.
Don't be another statistic.
Don't let a few extra drinks derail your goals.
know your finish line.
Let me guess, you left your wallet in your other pants.
Yes, and I need to get some cash right away. I can't be late to the game.
Do you have the Wells Fargo mobile app on your phone?
Yes.
You can use it to get a one-time access code to get cash at our ATMs.
Oh, that's better. Thank you so much. You know the team needs me.
Of course they do.
No, seriously, they can't win without me.
For Vegas-style action, play the hottest table games now at the casino at Sunland Park. Go all in for a great time with exciting electronic blackjack. And stay, hit, or play your way to winning big. Or place your bets on electronic roulette, where a jackpot could be yours with any spin of the wheel. Vegas-style action, baby. You bet. Let your hot streak begin. The casino at Sunland Park. I-10 to Sunland Park, exit 13.
Play responsibly. Helpline 1-800-572-1142.
At White Sands Federal Credit Union, we like to think of ourselves as a family of people who care because our employees donate their money, over $100,000 since 2005, to support our communities. We've helped the Ronald McDonald House and action programs for animals. We've donated to Coats for Kids and helped provide emergency shelter through La Casa and the Child Crisis Center. We've helped the fire department in Truth or Consequences and the Girl Scouts at White Sands Missile Range. You support us, we support you. White Sands Federal Credit Union. Working together, make our communities better.
Tonight's game on Aggie Vision is brought to you by Wells Fargo, Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino, Pepsi, Route 66, and by Comcast. Third game of the season for both the Aggies and the Lobos. Road opener for UNM. NM State trying to go to 2-1. Lobos trying to go to 3-0. Secure your seat in the Pan American Center for the 2017-18 New Mexico State women's basketball season. Brand new head coach Brooke Atkinson of the Aggies will host UC Santa Barbara, UNM, UTEP, and more. For info or to purchase tickets, 575-646-1420 or the Pan Am ticket office. Those boos you hear right now. Paul Weir is back on the floor at Lou Henson Court, and for the most part it's just the student section really giving him a hard time as we look at the first half stats. Neither team shot the ball well from 3 in that first half, and Coach, we talked about it, rebounding and limiting turnovers for the Aggies has been a big key so far.
Well, the Lobos have been racking up the assists until tonight. They just haven't been able to get in sync, and that's credit to the Aggies defense, I think.
Pinchuk 8, 6 Logwood, 5 McNeil for the Aggies, 8 for Chua. Endier has 7, Jones 3, McCants 6, 2 Wilkins, and 5 for the top scorer coming in, Zach Lofton. We thought we would see a lot of points in this game. New Mexico came in averaging 125 per game. Aggies came in averaging 77.5 per game. We had the keys early, Coach. How they done?
Well, first let me say that I thought someone would score 100 points, and I was wrong. But the Aggies did a very good job of handling the press and controlling the tempo, and they did not limit Sam Logwood early. He had 3 baskets in a row to start the game, but he missed his next 5 shots. So I think the Aggies are doing, I'll give them an A-.
Coach, I'll tell you what, I was so confident that somebody would score 100 tonight. I was making notes on my note card about past games in this rivalry that saw 100 points, and there haven't been many. The last time a team scored 100 was 06. The Aggies did in a 103-72 win. Usually it's played at a little lower scoring of a game, and so far that's been the case, which I didn't expect, and I don't think you did either.
Well, part of it, I think, is the Aggies didn't take the bait. Even though they were getting pressed, they didn't go try and run and gun and go crazy. They were very selective, and it wasn't until in the half-court offenses we've been talking about when they really took advantage of the Lobo double teams in the half court.
And I'm sure what the Aggies did in the first half, many coaches down the road, including Tennessee Tech, Tuesday night, they're going to play UNM. They're going to take that press break and use it as a blueprint. Okay, that's how we beat the UNM press going forward.
I think that's right, but will they have players as quick as A.J. Harris and Sidney Endier and Zach Lofton? I don't know. But yeah, pretty impressive start for the Aggies tonight.
Lobos with Tennessee Tech on Tuesday in the pit. The Aggies will have Colorado State here at the Pan-Am on Wednesday. Back to action, half two. Who will win the 219th meeting here in the Rio Grande rivalry? One possession game. Endier blocks Jackson, and the Aggies out and running. A.J. Harris all the way to the rim, no good. And Wilkins catches the tip. Harris fires from the corner, way short. Jones had Endier and Wilkins, and they couldn't grab it. Both teams empty in their first possession here in half two. Logwood will square up on Lofton. Really nobody in foul trouble right now for the Aggies. Harris has two, that's all. A.J. with the orange right now. Lofton left open. Firstinger late to close out.
Well, and a big story is that Sam Logwood has just disappeared for the Lobos, or just hasn't been the great influence that he was in the first few minutes of the game.
That's a big mistake for Firstinger and UNM, leaving Lofton a clean look. Aggies now 2 of 11 from three. Chris McNeil, the Jackson, Tennessee native. A little too strong. Rebound for Harris, the smallest player on the floor at 5'9". A lot of minutes 2 years ago for A.J. under Thad Matta at Ohio State. Sat out last year due to transfer rules. Mid-post extended Wilkins. Here's A.J. Harris, extra pass. He finds Lofton. A little too strong. Endier tips it out to Harris. Lofton to Endier on the kick out.
Well, just the Aggies are really willing to share the ball. It's remarkable what good passers the Aggies are all the way around. And particularly the post players. Jonathan Wilkins is a terrific passer. And he's the one who got that first open shot by sharing the ball. And Jamario Jones has taken off his nose guard, by the way. Did you notice that, Adam?
I did.
That's the kind of insightful color analysis you can get from me. No nose guard for Jamario Jones here.
Joe Firstinger with a long deuce. Harris to a trailing Wilkins, bounces off the defender, and that's a charge on Jonathan Wilkins, who must have lowered his shoulder.
Well, you don't see that kind of mistake from John Wilkins very often. He's usually pretty selective and pretty smart. In that one, he just was a little bit out of control, I think, as we see Anthony Mathis check back in for the Lobos.
This run and gun offense for UNM. Paul Weir believes that this is a second half style. That they'll wear down their opponent enough to have a big second half advantage. Firstinger misses there. Wilkins, the outlet for Endier. Jamario Jones was all alone. Jones to Lofton again from the corner.
But I'm a little surprised the Lobos are leaving him that wide open. The Lobos seem they're having a little trouble with their rotations on defense, especially particularly out of the double teams.
And a late foul is called on UNM. UNM State 3 of 5 from 3 here in this half. They were 1 of 9 in the first 20. Buchanan's in, and Harris heads off. That was on Logwood. What did you see there, Coach? You see much?
Well, usually Jamario Jones goes flying at the ball, and that one time he went flying away from the ball, and maybe that was the referee's clue there.
First on Logwood, first on UNM as well here in the half. The Aggies break the pressure again, and it's Buchanan running the offense for NM State. Now Chua for Lofton. Biggest lead for the Aggies, it's 10. Buchanan blocked away by Mathis with 3 to shoot, so the Aggies will have 3 checked out. That was Simons with the block. Trey Simons there in the corner.
And Sean Buchanan didn't have much choice. There's no time to fake that one. Now the Aggies have just 3 seconds.
Lofton will trigger. Do not be surprised if he gets it back before the 3 seconds is up. It's Chua who gets a pretty good look. McNeil collects and they lost it. No numbers though, it's a 2-on-3. Jones to Endier, way short. Ball side rebound defensive for McNeil. Here's McNeil brushing off the Pinchuk screen. Watch lost it. Let's see if Lofton slows it down. Zach will, and Chua gets it off for City Endier. Under 16 left here in half 2. The Aggie lead has grown to 10 behind some hot 3-point shooting here in the half. Lofton has a clear path to the rim, and he scoops it through.
Well, that's what I expected from Zach Lofton. He has that reputation being able to lower his shoulder and get to the basket.
Simons on a step back. It's loose. It's picked up by McNeil. Mathis left wide open, and he is a phenomenal 3-point shooter.
He's shaking his head. He knows that's like a layup for Anthony Mathis.
Mathis 2 of 3 from bonus distance. Lofton has the freshman Mawatch guarding him again. Now on the switch, he's guarding Endier, and an offensive foul is called on Eli Chua. Chris Jans doesn't like it. Tommy Nunez said he was ramping around. A hooking foul, if you will, on Eli Chua. But for Eli, that is only number 1. NM State has outscored UNM 11-5 in the half. The lead is 9 for the Aggies.
Blue 42, hut, hut.
Have you found yourself stuck on the sidelines? Let the orthopedic team at Memorial Bone and Joint get you back in the game. We specialize in sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, and foot and ankle issues. With years of experience and advanced techniques, Memorial Bone and Joint is a team you can trust. Visit us at 150 Roadrunner Parkway or call 575-556-6440.
Hello, Totten Designs. A sales department? Yes, I can put you right through. Sales department, this is Nate. Human resources, technical support. Hold, please.
You work hard to grow your business.
Yes. I can totally do that for you.
Our new online business planning tools will help your business thrive. Wells Fargo.
Aggie Vision's presentation of New Mexico State basketball is brought to you by Memorial Medical Center, Comcast, White Sands Federal Credit Union, Pepsi, and by Wells Fargo. New Mexico State 42, UNM 33, 14:58 left here in the second half of play. Great to have you with us here tonight at the Pan American Center. Adam Young alongside a man who coached in this rivalry, former New Mexico State coach Russ Bradford. 219 all-time meetings. What's your favorite moment as a coach in this rivalry?
What actually happened, reminiscent of tonight, it actually happened before the game when Lou Henson first went back to the from the Pan American Center, went to the pit, and Lou Henson at the pit. And I remember walking up the tunnel with him, and people were yelling and screaming their heads off, very aggressive. But Lou, you know, he's just so calm, smiled and waved at everybody as if they were cheering him. And it's, you know, Paul Weir under the same kind of pressure tonight.
Is there a nicer guy than Lou Henson?
No, there's absolutely not. That's an easy question. You have to ask me harder questions.
There's actually going to be a game later this year in December when New Mexico State plays Illinois at the United Center in Chicago. It's the Lou Henson game.
It'll be full of Lou's former players from both teams.
Always nice too when the Aggies head back to Chicago. A lot of alums in that area, a lot of former players in that area. 5 to shoot for Mathis. Here's Mawatch, and he swishes in the 3. Freshman from Sydney, Australia.
Well, that was one of the few breakdowns with Jamario Jones that you'll ever see defensively. Uh-oh.
Something came on the floor.
Coach lost his chewing gum, I think.
One of our officials, Mike Reed, will scoop it up. It's like a cough drop.
Oh, I thought it was chewing gum.
Maybe a marble.
But he won't be. They'll warn the fans if there's things coming down on the floor.
If something else is tossed on the floor, you'll have Chris Jans on mic saying stop. PA announcer Ed Carnathan just reminded fans that if you throw something on the floor, that's a foul to the Aggies. That could hurt the home team.
But pretty impressive Lobo Aggie debut for Chris Jans.
Like I said in the first half, he's had his team extremely prepared. Sean Buchanan out on the same page as Joe Garza. Both benches are stacked. You have Lou Godino on the Aggie bench. David Anwar, who's been around. Jeff Myatt, who's been great at the JUCO level. And then on Paul Weir's bench, you have Chris Harriman, who has great ties to Australia. Brandon Mason, now on the bench as well. An outstanding recruiter, you would have to think. Jamario Jones skies for the rebound. Garza's open here on the wing. Just didn't get to him in enough time. Harris finds Lofton with under 14 left here in the half. Lofton gets by Furstinger, can't finish though. And then Mathis was out of bounds on the end line.
Well, Aggie's got a break there. That's where the switching defense can really confuse you. Zach Lofton winds up with Joe Furstinger and thinks, I've got to take this guy to the basket, and winds up taking a little bit of an off-balance shot. The switching man-to-man defense by the Lobos.
Zach Lofton will trigger in for the Aggies, lobs it into Jamario Jones. Shua hands it off to Garza. Good defense there for Antono Jackson, sticking out his hand. Jones wants it down low. He's pushed it up on Simmons. On the roll, Shua. Back outside, Garza for 3. Defensive board for Dane Kuiper.
Kuiper came down with that in big traffic.
2-possession game right now. Logwood guarded by Chua. Logwood with the hook. Pinball's off. Jamario Jones there for his 11th rebound. Came in averaging 14.5 per game. Lofton finds an angle again.
Well, he's all smiles too, Zach Lofton.
15 for the grad transfer. Getting his first taste of the Rio Grande rivalry here tonight. Furstinger bounces off Chua, and he'll get a pair of free throws.
Well, Chua with a sort of a rare lapse in effort in that one. You know, I think Joe Furstinger sort of surprised him. I don't think he thought Joe Furstinger would try and go all the way.
Furstinger, Mr. Energy, he's that spark for UNM. He always has been. Senior from Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Shooting into the student section. He's a really good shooter for a big man too. He's 7 of 7 on free throws, and he can shoot the 3 too at 6'9".
Yeah, he's tough, and he's all elbows and knees and effort. He's just a smart, heady player, but you can see where he'd get his nose broke because he's not afraid to stick his nose in there and go after the ball.
Number change this year for Furstinger, wore 23 last year, wears 5 this year. And he makes it a 6-point game again. 44-38, biggest lead for the Aggies in this half, 12. 5 minutes into the game, it was an 8-point Lobo lead. Chris Giants trying to call out the play, and the Aggies able to get it relayed to them. Simons all over Lofton. Really good defense.
Pretty good
defense. To a jump ball.
Pretty good defense by Troy Simons.
I'm sure you worry as the head coach of the defensive team, if you get that close, you're going to foul him. And Simons stood his ground and just ripped it.
No, just stuck down and got down in a stance and really moved his feet well. Watch him here to anticipate which way Zach Lofton's going.
Possession stays with the Aggies. They inbound to Jonathan Wilkins, back to Lofton. On the trap, Logwood bumps Lofton. Number 2 on Logwood, number 3 on UNM here in the half. Seems like now UNM may rev up the pressure here in the half court. Johnny McCants catches in the backcourt, and the Aggies only have 15 here to shoot. Shot clock doesn't reset. Baseline feed to Wilkins. Firstinger and Simmons double teaming him. 4 to shoot for the Aggies. Harris triggers. Wilkins the offensive rebound, and then Logwood picks up, checked out McNeil, picks up the foul as he bumps Lofton.
Well, John Wilkins really bailed the Aggies out there.
Couple of fouls here on the recent stages for UNM. They're trying to stay in this one. First-year head coach Paul Weir and UNM trailing first-year head coach Chris Giants and the Aggies 44-38, 8+ in.
Era la primera vez que nos invitaron a una fiesta.
Él quería tomar, así que yo le dije que iba a manejar. Entonces todo salió mal.
Él tomó en exceso y yo perdí la cuenta después de 5 tragos.
De repente él se enojó y me amenazó con dañarme a mí y a él mismo.
Al final de la noche estábamos en el hospital.
Si solamente le hubiera dicho que parara o que fuera más despacio.
Involúcrate y di algo.
Conoce tus límites.
It's on us to hold our friends accountable for their actions.
It's on us to stop sexual assault in any way that we can.
It's on us to help look for someone who's had too much to drink.
It's on us to not look the other way when we see something bad happening.
It's on us to tell our friends if what they're doing is wrong.
It's on us to get a woman home safely if she needs help.
It's on us to do something,
Anything to keep an assault from happening.
New Mexico State University's partnership with the University of New Mexico College of Pharmacy is celebrating a decade of successful collaboration. Designed to produce more pharmacists for southern New Mexico, the program has included 19 counties and graduated 21 students with a doctor in pharmacy degree. For more info, go to newscenter.nmsu.edu. Adam Young along with the coach, Russ Bradford, Pan-Am Center in Las Cruces. Pretty good crowd tonight for the Rio Grande rivalry. A&M State trying to beat UNM at home for the second straight year. Obviously some different elements in place this year, and if the Aggies can hang on, this would be a marquee win for Chris Giants.
It really would, and he's been involved in a lot of big wins, but the Lobo Aggie rivalry is a big one, and it's been amped up a little bit with Paul Weir's departure.
And obviously you have no clue how UNM will be the rest of the year or how the Aggies will be the rest of the year, but 3 games in, when it's a rivalry game like this, that would mean a marquee win for the Aggies. McNeil guarding Harris. Here's Wilkins on the exchange. Johnny McCants was great early, playing a lot of minutes here tonight. Endier from the wing with 6 on the shot clock. Finds his way to the paint, and he's fouled. He's bailed out with 4 to shoot.
Yeah, that could have ended badly for City Endear, but he wound up getting fouled at the end.
First on Ja'Kai Simmons. It will lead to City Endear free throws, and City this year has not attempted a free throw shot. He's 75% in his Aggie career, though.
And the Aggies, as we keep talking about, they've really shared the ball well, taken care of the ball, played unselfishly, but they haven't shot well, and they're still up by 6. Shooting just 35% for the game. And
they shot really well Monday on the road against St. Mary's.
They did.
Kept them in the game.
I don't know if it's nerves or the Lobo defense or it's hard to know.
Jamario Jones comes in for Zach Lofton. Jones with 3 points and a dozen rebounds. Dane Kuiper back in for UNM, replaces Ja'Kai Simmons. So Jones lost the face mask, and Furstinger keeps his on. Furstinger might need his. He's one of those guys who's not afraid to put his nose in some things and get gritty. He will stay with UNM here. McNeil triggering at his 3rd different school in 3 years. Began at Western Kentucky. McQuatch Malwatch loses the ball. Surging ahead is A.J. Harris, and he has it go off his knee. Situation right there, Coach, maybe trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, just well on both ends. The Australian probably made a bad decision dribbling into 2 people, and A.J. Harris with a usually he's pretty under control, and in this case he just got going a little bit too fast.
No field goals for UNM in 3.5 minutes. Not a good time here to go to a drought for them. They trail by 7 on the road here in their road opener. Firing is McNeil, left it short. The Aggies box out again. They're pushing here, might have numbers. Pull up Endear. No good. Wiped off the glass by Pinchuk. He lost it though. Loose ball. And it's Jamario Jones who finds it.
Who of course, Jamario, and I think he knocked it away from Pinchuk to keep the Aggies alive there.
Endear to Jones. The pump fake on Kuiper. Tipped away by Dane Kuiper. Great D. Here comes Troy Simons. Simons on the fall away, not a good shot. Pulled in by Harris. Ahead for Endear with 2-on-2. Endear fouled by Simons.
Well, veteran official Tommy Nunez, really a strong crew tonight. 3 veteran officials.
It's been a light game offensively for Simons, who you see right there, number 31 in Cherry. He hasn't scored. He's only attempted 3 shots. And he's going to head to the bench right now. Simons last year was the JUCO scoring leader. Averaged 26 a game at Polk State. And he came in, I know only 2 games in, but he was leading the Lobos in scoring, averaging 21.5 per game before tonight. A.J. Harris to City Endear. Wraparound pass for Wilkins. Inside, outside, Lofton. Pump fake and a drive. Hand off to Jones.
Well, really, one of the things that Zach Lofton, I think, is going to have to do this year, and he seems perfectly willing to do it, is to show that he can share the ball like the rest of the Aggies can.
Here comes City Endear, and he's fouled on his way up.
Well, a little bit of frustration from the Lobos there, I think, as the Aggies looked like the Lobos were going to make their move there in the last few minutes, and they haven't really done much.
Really good sportsmanship here by Dane Kuiper. Went right over to City after he fouled him. Said, I meant no harm by that one.
Well, the problem with City Endear is he's so slippery quick getting to the basket. He could make anybody follow him accidentally.
City 1 of 2 on free throws tonight. First one is up, and it pinballs out. Anthony Mathis, the sharpshooter from Oregon, is back in. Kuiper heads off. Kuiper only has 2 in this game. Endear gets 1 of 2. Johnny McCants will come in for the Aggies. Who's he getting, though? Nobody's gone off yet. Now City End here finally goes off. The Aggies had 6 for a little bit.
Well, Chris Jans knows they can't play with 6. Although they've been swarming defensively at times, it seems like there's 6 of them out there.
Biggest lead 12. It's a 10-point lead right now. No points in 3 minutes for UNM. Back doing the cut. Longwood catches from Firstinger. And he scores around the freshman, Johnny McCants.
Well, I think in that situation, when Longwood takes 3 or 4 dribbles right under the basket, they're gonna need to double team him down there.
.48-40 Aggies. A.J. Harris backpedals to the wing. On the sideline, Jamario Jones. Now Zach Lofton, who has 15 on 6 of 13 shooting. The Ohio State transferred Harris, and a timeout is called by Larry Spalding. Must have been a clock issue. I think the shot clock shouldn't be at 21. .909 left. Shot clock at 21 is what it reads right now, and Chris Jans will use this time to talk to his team, and it looks like Paul Weir will use this time to talk to his team as well. And we'll break. 48-40 Aggies, 9:09 left in the game.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
On the field,
in the pool,
on the court.
we wear our game faces under the lights.
But sometimes our toughest opponents aren't wearing a uniform.
Instead, we confront them internally.
Mental illness affects 1 in 4 adults in the United States.
And suicide is the 2nd leading cause of death among college students.
If you or someone you know is fighting a silent battle,
please speak up and ask for help.
You are not alone.
it was the first time we got invited to a party.
She wanted to drink, so I said I would drive. Then everything went wrong. She drank too much.
I lost count after 4 drinks.
All of a sudden, she was angry and upset, threatening to hurt me and herself.
By the end of the night, we were at the hospital.
If only I had told her to stop or slow down.
Get involved and say something. Know your finish line.
Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, 48-40 New Mexico State. Big thanks to Tommy Nunez, who came over and told us the clock had froze, which is the issue. So they're readjusting the clock. Apparently it just froze for, I think he said 11 seconds, and they've adjusted it here at the Pan Am. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wells Fargo, a proud supporter of Aggie basketball and the power of teamwork. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. The clock is now under 9. The shot clock is at 4. And a foul is called. I think it's offensive on Zach Lofton, who was trying to step through the double team. Some words are exchanged near midcourt with Lofton and some others. The presidential treatment here tonight, Coach. We had Larry Spalding come over to make sure we knew what was going on with the clock.
They think we're important, as we see A.J. Harris with what a little bit of a, he thinks is a ticky-tack foul. Certainly didn't affect the play.
A foul situation right now, 6 on UNM, 5 on the Aggies. That is the 3rd on A.J. Harris, who's defending Jackson on the wing. Simmons picks up his dribble. Firstinger will post up Wilkins on the arm. Now it's Jackson again, guarded by Harris again. A.J. has to be careful with 8.5 to go. And A.J. Harris just picked up his 4th.
Boy, Johnny McCants is really working hard. I don't know if I've ever seen a freshman work that hard defensively.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's a veteran crew. We're going to give them a break.
Yeah.
Plus, they've been so kind to us. They come over at every opportunity.
So Sean Buchanan comes in, replaces AJ, who's going to sit for a few minutes. Firstinger catches the inbound. Lobos trail by 8. This has not been a good half for them offensively. Longwood back outside for Mathis. 3 made threes for Anthony Mathis off the bench.
Well, now it's 5 points with 8 minutes to go, Adam. It's a little early to start celebrating. Not that anybody's celebrating.
Some big minutes here now for Sean Buchanan, the backup point guard. Lofton. Back to Buchanan. Wilkins on the handoff reverse to Jones. Flashing McCants, high-low feed for Wilkins, who is shoved. Mathis had to.
Well, see, this is where the problems can come in all the switching, as you get sort of these mismatches.
That's 7 fouls now on UNM, so bonus free throws for the France native and 3-year starter Jonathan Wilkins. When we come back, it's a 5-point game in the Rio Grande rivalry.
We're proactively advancing our security to find better ways to help keep your finances safe. Over here, we're working on voice recognition.
Oh, question?
Yes.
A lot of people say that I sound like my brother. He wouldn't be able to sign into my account, would he?
No, he wouldn't. Your voice is as unique as your fingerprint.
Cool, because that guy is just...
And over here, we're exploring eye print technology. And if people say you have your brother's eyes, he wouldn't be able to sign on this way.
Great, that's good to know. That's good for all of us to know.
And over here, we're working on mobile payments.
For Vegas-style action, play the hottest table games now at the casino at Sunland Park. Go all in for a great time with exciting electronic blackjack. And stay, hit, or play your way to winning big. Or place your bets on electronic roulette, where a jackpot could be yours with any spin of the wheel. Vegas-style action, baby, you bet. Let your hot streak begin. The casino at Sunland Park. I-10 to Sunland Park, exit 13.
Play responsibly. Helpline 1-800-572-1142.
NM State 48, UNM 43, 7:47 left here in half 2 tonight. Game 3 of the season for both. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wells Fargo, a proud supporter of Aggie basketball and the power of teamwork. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. David Anwar had the scout for New Mexico State tonight. A tough team to scout against, I'm sure, Coach. And you couldn't find two more contrasting styles than the Aggies have found this week, going from St. Mary's, a team that likes to play slow, to New Mexico, a team that likes to play fast. And the Aggies have certainly made the adjustment well.
That's right. They were I thought they were pretty well prepared at St. Mary's. They just ran out of gas. But certainly David Anwar, the assistant coach, has done a terrific job of helping to prepare the Aggies for this one.
Coach Anwar worked under Doc Sadler for a number of years. A well-known head coach who, from what I've heard, is known as one of the friendliest coaches around the country. There's David Anwar.
He's not friendly if you're trying to score against him.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell you that.
That's true.
And then, that's assistant coach David Anwar. Doc Sadler, known as a tremendous defensive coach.
Wilkins makes the first, so he gets the second. David Anwar and the staff of Christians, hired on April 17th. 26th head coach in program history. Inherited a few guys, but had to go find some guys. Had to go find Zach Lofton. Had to go find Sean Buchanan, some others. And the Aggies ahead by 7 now. Longwood banks it too hard. Tipped out to Wilkins, and the outlet goes to Jones. Wing-to-wing pass goes to Lofton. How about Johnny McCants tonight? The Oñate grad playing big minutes off the Aggie bench. Isolation set for Lofton with 6. Lofton for 3. Clanks it off the rim. Jones there, sticks it home.
Well, Wilkins kept that one alive. That was one of the few possessions the Aggies have had all night that I wasn't crazy about. You know, Lofton dribbled it about 20 times there, but it was John Wilkins who bailed the Aggies out. Jamario Jones with the great nose for the ball, stuck it back in.
7 points, 12 rebounds for Jamario Jones, the senior. Wildwood's a senior. Doesn't hand it off. Mid-post extended. Outside, the Akron transfer Jackson answers with a 3. And UNM pulls within 6.
But they just keep hovering around. Imagine that. The Lobos won't quit.
Lead pass to Wilkins, who will slow it down. Handles the ball well for a big man.
Well, that's the thing that I would characterize. The Aggies' big men are all different, but they all pass the ball very well.
Lofton on the reverse is bumped.
Well, a much more productive possession there for Zach Lofton. A lot less wasted motion. And boy, is he effective when he goes to the basket.
You don't see many guys who play at 5 different schools. Zach Lofton was at San Jacinto JUCO. Then he went to Illinois State. Then he went to Minnesota in his home state. Then Texas Southern. Last year he was the SWAC Player of the Year. Honorable mention All-American. And he gets one more year.
I like your
Las Cruces.
I like your pronunciation of the JUCO. Here we would say San Jacinto, but there they call it San Jack.
Really?
Yeah, San Jack is sort of the. But we know better here in New Mexico. We know how to pronounce our J's in Espanol. But yeah, he's Zach Lofton has really been just a great addition for the Aggies this summer.
NM State now 12 of 18 on free throws. Pinchuk loses it. Reach and foul though on the Aggies. I'm sure Paul Weir was hoping he could kind of bring Vladimir Pinchuk in gradually, but the big man from Germany having to play a lot of minutes with the injury to Connor McDougal so far this year.
Yes, and he's done well.
Pinchuk has 8. Good looking stroke as well at 6'10", 230. You would have to think that the Lobos will recruit internationally really well with Paul Weir as the head coach and Chris Harriman as the associate.
Well, that's right, and don't forget the other assistant is Jerome Robinson from Toronto. Well, Troy Simons is having a hard time. He's not cutting loose like he did in his first 2 games.
Outstanding verticality there for City Endier. Simons has to be careful. He's being pulled away by his teammate Sam Longwood, and we have some technicals. And I think an Aggie was teed up well.
It's hard to know why the Aggies seem to be under control there. It's hard to know what happened there, but I'm sure we'll find out here in a minute because they've been so helpful.
My guess is it was Zach Lofton. And Chris Jans is telling the officials he didn't say one word. From what we just heard from the PA, and we'll get word from the officials as well, apparently it was Jamario Jones.
Jamario seemed to be smiling. He didn't seem to have said anything, but maybe he was smiling in an unsportsmanlike way or something.
That's one of the hardest things to do, Coach, in this rivalry is control your emotions.
Yeah, it seems like it's Troy Simons walking right into Jamario Jones's face and Jamario smiling. But you're right, I think that's exactly right, is keeping the emotions under control. You see Troy Simons giving himself a pep talk there.
And we've seen technicals from guys who have never played in this rivalry. Sean Buchanan earlier. Troy Simons here. They're new to the rivalry. And if you allow it to, it will get the best of you.
Well,
You'll get teed up.
Sam Longwood doing what the coaches would want is sort of, keeping keeping his player under control. But
yeah, that's a heady move there by a senior, who's the only returning starter this year for UNM.
But there's still plenty of time left. No lead is no lead. This is not a safe lead for the Aggies.
And you had just said too about Simons struggling. Maybe the frustration for him.
Well, he just
got the best of him. He hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, he just got his shot blocked 2 feet away from the basket, and you know, and he's had a terrific year so far. He's averaging 21 points a game coming in, but hasn't made a basket yet.
Yeah, and he's a scorer too. I mean, he averaged 26 a game last year at the JUCO level. Well, it's been an interesting twist here in this rivalry ever since April. New Mexico State lost to Baylor in the NCAA tournament. UNM fires head coach Craig Neal. Paul Weir hired not long after. And then Chris Gians hired by the Aggies.
Well, here comes Tommy Nunez again.
Sporting on 31 and 10. That's 31 second technical foul. He's done.
Well, Troy Simons is done.
Troy Simons has been ejected for his 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. It's the first tee on Jamario Jones, and now Mike Reed will meet with Paul Weir and Chris Giants, the 2 head coaches, at midcourt to explain what just happened. Have you ever seen a player get ejected in this rivalry?
Well, I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, in general,
I would assume so, right?
Yeah, in general, the players do seem to get along, and I don't think there's bad blood between the players tonight. It hasn't. There's no fisticuffs and not much trash talking. This is certainly the most helpful crew of referees we've ever had.
Lou Henson, court is shaken right now. Inbound for McNeil. A little too much adrenaline maybe. This is too strong. Buchanan to Jones. Extra pass for Chua.
But Jamario Jones catches it at 2 feet away, but somebody's got a 1-footer and he gives it up. And that's where the Aggie big men are so effective, is they're just so willing to share the ball.
It's on UNM, and the Aggies will get it back.
But Adam, contrast that last play with Sam Logwood, where the Aggie players get the ball under the basket. They're perfectly willing to pass it. Sam, I think, is trying to do a little bit too much here. And it's Vladimir Pinchuk with the over the back.
First on Pinchuk. And the Aggies are now in the double bonus. So Eli Chua will shoot 2 free throws. 5:41 left, and the Aggies are trying to pull away. Now, Coach, with the style that UNM likes to play, it is conducive to a comeback when you're trailing by double figures with a couple minutes left.
I'm not going to start the bus. But no, I think that's a very good point. I think it's a very good point. I don't think there's nothing is set so far. But if the Lobos do bust out with a few threes, it'll be the first time. All night.
McNeil uses the Longwood screen. Here's Firstinger on the arc. Simmons bounces for Firstinger. McNeil to the rim. Charge on McNeil. It was drawn by City Endier.
Well, he was as set as could be. I think that Sean Buchanan worried that they were going to call him for the foul.
And Aggies break the press again. Buchanan finds Chua for the reverse. Here's McNeil. Firstinger was rolling. McNeil and one.
Well, Joe Furstiger and Eli Chua got tangled up, but I don't think there was nothing illegal there. Just Joe Furstiger playing hard and couldn't get untangled from Chua.
That's number 3 on Eli Chua. McNeil looking for the three-point play. Brings in the free throw. 59-50, 5:02 left in the game. NM State has made each of their previous 3 shots. The Aggies are now shooting 39%, nearly thrown away, but Chua tracks it down. The Aggies in the half court offensively. Endier, Buchanan, Jones, Lofton, and Chua on the floor. Mathis, McNeil, Kuiper, Logwood, and Furstinger for the Lobos. Here in their road opener, they're 2-0. The Aggies are 1-1. Chua, bullet pass intended for Jones, is tipped away by Mathis.
No, it's really remarkable how Chris Jansen's got these guys. They're so willing to share the ball, especially this early in the year. They just seem to be clicking offensively in ways that I wouldn't have expected.
14 assists on 21 baskets for the Aggies. For UNM, they only have 5 assists. Buchanan blocked by Furstinger, but first he was fouled by Joe Furstinger with only 3 on the shot clock.
Well, Furstinger bailed him out there. I don't think that Buchanan would have been able to get the ball over him.
Furstinger had 2 really early, and this is only his 3rd. 2 shots for Sean Buchanan, who has not scored yet today, only has 2 points for the year. Sophomore from Durant, Mississippi. Only 1 year at the JUCO level. He was at Northeast Mississippi Community College. His brother Leroy plays at Murray State. And he gets 1 of 2. Mathis to the rim. Easy reverse. No help side D.
Well, that was a rare defensive breakdown for the Aggies. And I think Mathis is so intent on, he's such a good three-point shooter. I think it surprised everybody.
Lofton with the left hand. And 1 from Zach Lofton.
Tremendous body control for Zach Lofton. Boy, when he sees an opening, he really takes advantage of it. Boy, and Chris Jan's really fired up. I'll tell you, it's been impressive how well they've played together in the first really big home game of the year.
19 now for Zach Lofton. Averaging 21.5 coming in. And he puts the Aggies ahead by 11 as we approach the 4-minute mark. 219th meeting here in the Rio Grande rivalry. And it's been all Aggies since the first 5 minutes or so, really. Step back 3, McNeil. That's a really tough shot. Jamario Jones with his 14th rebound. City Endier dribbles out of a double team. Jones right next to him. City bounces to Jamario. Under 4 left for the game. Zach Lofton going to work again. The teardrop a little too strong. Put back for Lofton. Spins around and spins through.
Well, great body control by Zach Lofton.
And Anthony Mathis is fouled on his way up. And Mathis will get 2 free throws after the City Endier foul, and UNM's trying to hang in here. The Aggie lead has grown to 13 points, their biggest lead, 22 for Lofton. Final 3:16 after this.
We are the Borderplex Alliance, and this is our region 1 second at a time.
Ready for extensive life sciences research. The totally revitalized downtown. The largest binational city on the border. Fortune 500 companies from 21 countries from all around the world. Business accelerator and technology incubator.
The border moves fast. Visit us at borderplexalliance.org.
White Sands Federal Credit Union. We like to think of ourselves as a family of people who care because our employees donate their money, over $100,000 since 2005, to support our communities. We've helped the Ronald McDonald House and action programs for animals. We've donated to Coats for Kids and helped provide emergency shelter through La Casa and the Child Crisis Center. We've helped the fire department in Truth or Consequences and the Girl Scouts at White Sands Missile Range. You support us, we support you. White Sands Federal Credit Union. Working together, make our communities better.
It's a whiteout game tonight here at the Pan American Center for the Rio Grande rivalry, the Battle of I-25. 4,000 foam fingers were given out before the game. Also 1,000 free white t-shirts. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Aggies and for New Mexico. The Aggies will play their second straight Mountain West team next Wednesday when they play Colorado State. UNM will have Tennessee Tech out of the Ohio Valley, and then you see a gauntlet for UNM. TCU, then either Maryland or St. Bonaventure, and Evansville's playing pretty well right now out of the Missouri Valley. And the Aggies are playing UTEP back-to-back this year, so we'll see how that goes. A lot of rivalry games for New Mexico State, including this one. 3 of 4 are rivalry games.
And it's next Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving. Colorado State, they've been nationally ranked quite a bit in the last few years. It's Larry Eustace is the coach who was at Utah State for a while and Idaho. So Aggie fans should remember him from his good Utah State team.
You know, Coach, I was looking at some Larry Eustace numbers the other day, and when you look at the all-time wins list, I think some people forget that Larry Eustace is right around the same amount of all-time wins as John Chaney at Temple, the late Rick Majerus at St. Louis, Utah, and all those schools.
I didn't realize.
He's one of the best ever.
That's right. Yeah, he's succeeded everywhere he's been. And he said good teams, it'll be a huge game for the Aggies. So even though the rivalry game is the Lobos, let's not forget Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, you can build up an appetite and cheer for the Aggies.
Anthony Mathis will shoot 2. Mathis now 2 of 3 on free throws this year. Just 10 games last season for Mathis after 25 games as a freshman. He's found an increased role with first-year head coach Paul Weir. Not fazed by the student section. UNM makes it a single-figure deficit here as they trail by 9. Checked at 11 at 65-54. They trail by 11 here at the Pan Am. And Lofton is fouled in the backcourt by Sam Longwood. The Aggies and the Lobos both shooting 2 the rest of the way. Third on Longwood. All 3 here in this half. Free throw good for Zach Lofton, who now has 23 to pace the Aggies and all scores tonight. He just acts like a scorer too, doesn't he, Coach? He's always looking to score. He's always got his eyes set on the hoop.
Yeah, and rarely takes a bad shot, which is unusual for a guy that's so willing to score.
Layup is off the mark for Jackson. The Aggies save it. Endier speeds ahead. Lofton to Chua on the baseline. Pinball's out. Kuiper snares it in, then a reach-in foul is called on the Aggies.
Kind of a sneaky, trying for the sneaky steal there, Zach Lofton.
Foul New Mexico State. Number 23, Zach Lofton is third.
Third on Lofton on the reach-in. 2 free throws for Dane Kuiper. You mentioned earlier, Coach, from Alaska, moved to Arizona after his sophomore year of high school. You don't see many 6'7" guards, and that's how big Kuiper is.
Not that can shoot like Dane Kuiper. He's really a fine shooter. He's had a pretty good all-around game tonight. He hadn't made any threes, but he's had a pretty good all-around game.
Kuiper splits the pair. The Aggie lead is 67-55 here at the Pan Am. Under 3 to go. A.J. Harris so quick. Breaks the press himself. City Endier for Harris. Lobos trying to trap if they can. Lofton stutters, working on Firstinger on the help side. Gets it out to Jones with 6 to shoot. Here's City Endier from the corner, splits the double team, floats it with 3 on the shot clock, and Logwood couldn't grab it.
Well, City Endier, I think would have passed that last one, but he'd run out of minutes, run out of seconds. Sorry.
Lofton triggers. Gets it in the backcourt for A.J. Harris. Paul Weir riding the officials right now. He just banged the scores table in frustration. The Aggies will chew some clock, ahead by a dozen. Lofton splits 2. Lofton to the rim. Paul Weir's been teed up.
Well, it's a frustrating homecoming for Paul Weir. Not exactly a homecoming, but frustrating return for Paul Weir. And just the Aggies have just dominated, with good decisions, taking care of the ball. As we see Paul Weir gather his Lobos together.
And I just heard him, Coach. He just brought his team together and said, "My fault." He said, "My fault" 3 times to his guys. That could pretty much seal the deal here. Lofton hits both technical free throws. The Aggie lead grows to 16. (71-55) here in this rivalry game. The Aggies have outscored the Lobos 40-27 here in this half. Not a whole lot of time left for UNM. Logwood and Mathis bunched up here on the wing. Logwood on the spin. Can't finish. Chua and Jones trying to grab it, but first Larry Spalding calls a foul, and it's on the Aggies. It's on Eli Chua.
Well, and Sam Logwood, after that great start, has really struggled. He's now 4 for 13.
You can kind of see that technical developing too. Paul Weir's been on the officials all night, and sometimes enough is enough.
It just seems like tonight has not been his night. I think we were anticipating a high-scoring but close game, and Lobos will be lucky to get to 60 tonight. And credit the Aggie defense there.
Endier has it lost. Mathis fouled him here at midcourt. I'll tell you what, Coach Bradford, nobody was talking about Chris Jans before this game. The storyline was Paul Weir, the rivalry. Chris Jans was just kind of flying under the radar, and I'm sure he likes it that way. I'm sure he loves it that way.
Just another surprise of the game is that Chris Jans just did an exceptional job of preparing these guys for the double teams and the press, and they never looked rattled or frazzled.
And I'm sure Aggie fans were wondering, what kind of a coach do we have? I think they found out a lot about Chris Jans, his staff, his guys, the preparation here tonight.
Yeah, and I think I could think Chris Jans had a national reputation as a shrewd tactician and a good recruiter. So it's not like tonight made him, but it was fun. It was fun to see for Aggie fans.
Mario Mocha hired Chris Jans in April. It was a home run hire for fans and coaches around the country. He worked under Greg Marshall at Wichita State. Helped develop Wichita State into a top 25 consistent program. He's been a head coach everywhere, JUCO Division I. He's been around, and he's here at New Mexico State, and he's got the fans riled up here tonight. A minute 25 to go. Kuiper from the wing. Front rim, rebound for A.J. Harris, who's played with foul trouble here in this half. .28 for Zach Lofton tonight. Harris to Endier with a dozen to shoot. We hit the 1 minute mark. Endier lobs for Jones, lost it in a reach in Fowler City. 14 for Endier, Chua with 13 for UNM, 13 for Mathis, 10 for McNeil. What's the biggest surprise you've seen tonight, Coach?
Well, there's
lack of points, maybe?
Well, there's been a few of them. I mean, just Troy Simons was more or less a no-show, as was Chris McNeil. I had big expectations for them. I thought it'd be much more of a run-and-gun kind of game, but it was the Aggies who controlled the tempo. And also Johnny McCants, I think, just sort of, you know, a lot of times freshmen come out and they're nervous, they're ineffective, and McCants gave the Aggies some great minutes tonight.
I'll ask Chris Jans about this when we talk to him post-game, but that might have been the spark the Aggies needed. Johnny McCants, when he started that rally, the Aggies were struggling early.
Well, he was a key player tonight, and again, you don't see freshmen come through like that very often in this rivalry series. But you know, expect the unexpected.
Chris Jans pumped up, calls a timeout. It's a full timeout. The buildup has been there. Right when Chris Jans was hired, there was so much talk about the rivalry. Of course, Paul Weir had gone to UNM, so he was taking over the program that Paul had last year. Right now, Chris Jans is telling the officials he just wanted to get subs in. He didn't want the full timeout. And one of the first questions he was asked at his press conference, Coach Bradford, was, do you know how important this rivalry is to the fans? And he remarked and said, I've been hired for, a day here, and I've already heard from a lot of people saying, you need to beat UNM, you need to beat UTEP. Those are the two most important things here in this town, and, well, he's up 17 with 46 seconds left.
Well, I think that's right. And you know, you could argue a lot of different ways on that. You know, I always thought Marvin Menzies he didn't have a great record against UNM, but he had a great record of getting the Aggies to the NCAA tournament. And so in the end, the NCAA selection committee is not looking at how the Aggies and the Lobos did. But I do think it will boost attendance, and I hope it'll be a sellout against Colorado State. You know, Colorado State on paper should be a better team than UNM. Right. So, and they've been a top 20 team in and out of the top 20 for the last few years.
The preseason predictions are what they are. UNM picked 9th in the Mountain West. Colorado State picked 5th. It's an NIT team from last year that won 24 games. Gabe Hadley comes in. Joe Garza's back in. Leston Gordon gets a touch right here. And here's Courtrait Miles. So the Aggies emptying their bench. Hadley on the arc. 6 to shoot for the Aggies. McCants backdoor to Garza, has to fade away. Gordon puts it up, can't get the rim, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. They're going to let the Aggies keep it though.
Well, McCants must have heard us bragging about him.
Firstinger shoots a 3, left it short. Johnny McCants the rebound. Listen to this crowd at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces.
Well, and yeah, a really great crowd and a really exciting time. Just the Aggies taking care of the ball, sharing the ball, playing together. They seem much further along for it only being November. It seems like it's February they're playing so well together.
The Aggies improved to 2-1. Lobos fall to 2-1. So the first loss of the year for New Mexico State. What a win here tonight for Chris Jans and the program. NMC now with 2 straight wins against UNM here in this building. Coach Jans is strapping on the headset. Coach, wow. How about the energy in this building tonight?
That was awesome. I really want to thank each and every Aggie fan that come out here and support these young men. Obviously, it was a charged environment. Everybody knows why. But, yeah. It was awesome. I just hope that they continue to support this team. If we can get a home crowd environment like that, I know people talk about getting back to 12,000 sold out, but if we can just get that right there, that's a great home court environment for us.
Coach Bradford and I talked a lot tonight about how well prepared your team was. You were prepared for that press. You guys turned it over just a few times in the entire game.
We did a pretty good job. We had a couple lollipop passes that we didn't like the first half, but overall, you know, I thought they did a really good job of handling it for 40 minutes. We had 14 turnovers.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me before the game, as a staff, we talked about, hey, 15 or less, I think we're in really good shape. And even, you know, 17, 18, the way they pressed. But I really thought our guys did an excellent job of handling the pressure and being in the right spots.
You got off to a little bit of a slow start, but it seemed like it was Johnny McCants who sparked you.
It was. You know, he's a freshman, but he's got great upside. He's athletic, as everyone could see. He's still learning how to play the game at this level, but he's got a big upside. I couldn't be happier for Johnny to kind of have a little bit of a coming out party, if you will, especially against Lobos.
Finally, Coach Zach Lofton scores 28 tonight. How good was he?
I've been telling everybody that will listen to me he can really score, but it's not just what he does. I mean, he knows how to play the game, and you know, he handled the pressure along with the other guards really well. He's a great pass faker. He knows how to play basketball, and you know, when they switch like that, it puts him in an advantage situation, and we just try to attack when he had the ball.
Coach, thanks for your time. Impressive win tonight.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man.
That's head coach Chris Jans. Big-time win for him and his program here tonight. It turns out to be a little bit of a lopsided win. 75-56, the final score. Post-game comes your way next.
As you stand in the hallway before your college graduation, you think about all the memories that brought you here. You learned to believe in yourself, and you found others that believed in you, and you discovered your dreams. You pushed past the limits and boundaries of the people who came before you, and now you're standing here. New Mexico State University. No limits, no boundaries.
Yeah, hi, I don't have my debit card, and these kids are having a bake sale for their soccer team, so I need some cash. Can I give you my mother's maiden name or my first concert? Or
Oh, well, now you can just use your phone.
my phone?
Yeah, just open the Wells Fargo mobile app and request a one-time access code.
That's way better. All set, thanks. They have snickerdoodles.
I love snickerdoodles.
Thanks!
Blue 42, hut, hut.
Have you found yourself stuck on the sidelines? Let the orthopedic team at Memorial Bone and Joint get you back in the game. We specialize in sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, and foot and ankle issues. With years of experience and advanced techniques, Memorial Bone and Joint is a team you can trust. Visit us at 150 Roadrunner Parkway or call 575-556-6440.
Huh. Can't find my debit card. Oh, no. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, totally, it's fine. But, like, is it fine, though? Because I would maybe be worried. Really worried. Do you want me to go back and look for it? I will. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. You need to call the bank. I don't know how else to tell you. You need to shut that card.
It's off.
What?
I can turn it on and off in my Wells Fargo app.
I feel better already.
Good.
Final score tonight here at the Pan Am Center in the 219th installment in the Rio Grande rivalry. Aggies 75, Lobos 56. Impressive win here tonight at home for the Aggies and a loss in the road opener for UNM. Secure your seat in the Pan Am Center for the Aggies men's basketball season. This is as good of a time as any. The Aggies have Colorado State, UTEP still on the schedule. For more info or to purchase tickets, 575-646-1420. Coach Bradford and I really enjoyed bringing this one to you tonight. The biggest stat, Coach, and we're going to talk about it right now. Plus 25 in rebound margin for New Mexico State. Plus 16 in offensive rebound margin.
And it was a team effort for the Aggies on the board, except Jamario Jones had 16 rebounds at about 6'5". Unbelievable, but they really kicked them on the boards.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of Zach Lofton highlights here in our highlight package. 28 tonight for Zach Lofton. He was special, but really it was UNM early. The Lobos got off to an 8-1 start to the game. The Aggies struggled some early, Coach.
That's right. The Lobos shot 50% in the first half, and I thought it could have meant trouble for the Aggies. They sort of stuck with the game plan, continued to share the ball.
A good floor game tonight for City Endier and Johnny McCants. We can't say enough about what he did when the Aggies were struggling early.
No, that's right. He's gonna provide valuable minutes all year, I think, for the Aggies. But just very active. He was good defensively, made smart plays.
Anthony Mathis made some shots for UNM. There's McCants again. Johnny McCants finishes with 8. City Endier playing above the rim. A lot of energy, a lot of highlight plays for the Aggies here tonight.
Well, and I remember City Endier was hurt all last year. It was very frustrating, but the things were much different in the second half. The Lobos did not shoot well. They only shot 28% in the second half.
NM State a lot better from 3 in half number 2. They made 3 threes, all those early in the second half. There's Lofton again. 28 points, or 9 of 18 shooting, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Anthony Mathis is going to have a good year. He made a bunch of shots from 3.
No, that's right, and he was one of the only one of the Lobos that could seemed to be able to get on track from 3.
A good half for Eli Chua in the second half of play. Eli finishes with 13 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Here's a look at the stats. NM State doesn't shoot it great from 3. Struggled especially in the first half, just 4 of 20. And really it wasn't a good shooting night overall for the Aggies, but you still win by 19, so you'll take it.
No, but they looked in sync offensively, which is really rare in a big rivalry game, and especially this early in the year. It was just really an impressive big game debut for Chris Jans here at the Pan Am Center.
The Aggies placed 3 players in double figures, led by Lofton with 28. Endier had 14. Chua had 13. And Mathis off the bench for UNM. He scored 14. 9 of those 14 came on threes for Anthony Mathis. Only 10 for McNeil. Logwood had just 8, but he had the first 6 for UNM, so nothing really after that. Troy Simons was ejected for 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. He did not score. He was the top scorer for UNM coming into this game. Time now for our Whataburger play of the game, and as I mentioned, we had some highlight reel dunks. Johnny McCants had some, City Endier had some, and we'll go with this fast break. A pretty nice 2-on-1 for the Aggies.
And Johnny McCants finishes Oñate High School. It's exciting to see the 2 Las Cruces kids playing so well for the Aggies.
Here's a second look at the Johnny McCants dunk. A career-high 8 for Johnny in this game, and we'll get a third look. Why not?
And as spectacular as he was, he really made good decisions. He did no mistakes, played within himself, really did a smart job, I think, for the Aggies tonight.
And that's our Whataburger play of the game. You mentioned the Las Cruces connection. Johnny McCants played at Oñate. Joe Garza played well tonight. He played at Las Cruces High. This is a fun team to watch, and we hope that more and more support comes from the Aggie fans.
Well, especially with Colorado State, a nationally ranked team coming in the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody's going to be home. Let's build up an appetite by yelling.